Once again, Gomez with aces.
Oh my goodness, quads on the flop. Don't ever run back.
Aces again on the feature table. Larson this time.
The aces giveth, and the aces taketh away.
And Gus is going to call the re-raise, and we are going to the flop. And the flop is queen high.
We saw Gus Hansen lead a lot of hands in Season 1, kicking off Season 2 of the CPT in much similar vein. Bets his Queen 8.
Leading.
What's his point
8.25
here in betting Queen 8? Like to just try to get some value out of an ace-king that might check back?
Yeah, I think so. I think, again, it's kind of an old school strategy of, like James mentioned, he said in his other doing something, kind of being proactive in the pot and controlling the situation. But in leading, of course, you open yourself up to getting raised. So in a situation where he could have just made sure there's one bet on the flop, he's forced into two bets with a bet and a raise, but doesn't matter.
Oh, come on.
Three of a kind.
Come on. So Gus's
checks now.
Gus's lead was for 8.25. Larson raised to 16.25, and now it goes check, check, and it's quads.
Well, Larson really wouldn't have liked that turn, but the river's pretty good for him, right? Makes top full house.
Oh my God, it's an 8-star hand versus a 7-star hand.
That's a total of 15 stars.
And did Gus bet 8,000? He's put them all in?
Yeah. Larson calls it off for his last 6K. So Newgard and Alexiou go heads up to the flop. King 9 against sixes. And look at this. Quad sixes for Alexiou. Newgard has paired his king. And there go chips into the abyss. 85,000. Don't go all in.
Don't even raise.
Konstantinos is going to make the call of 85,000.
Just calls.
Return card for these two. It's the Jack of Clubs.
How does Newgard not go broke here?
Even if you have a bad feeling, you're just like, what am I going to do? Like, you can't not bet top pair. Konstantinos.
Call is the announcement from Konstantinos.
It just never goes down like that when you have a weak hand. You're never like lean back in your chair. Call. It's just not.
130,000 apiece for the river card. Let's see if it was worth it.
It's not realistic.
River's the deuce of diamonds.
I think it goes check, check here sometimes, James.
He's going to check because... Sorry, go ahead.
Can I just take this?
Konstantinos.
Did he ask permission to bet?
He's going to bet
Yeah.
200,000.
Bless his heart.
Frederick makes the call.
200,000, snap called by Newgard. Alexiou could have gone so much bigger on the river.
He's adorable.
Another pot, and Newgard is left with crumbs. Saul will call with the ace-4. Gaia in the big blind.
Now, I think calling there is fine. I think free betting there is fine too against a player that you know is going to be opening a lot on the button.
This flop here for 60,000 apiece. Queen of diamonds, queen of spades.
Flop better, Benny.
Diamonds, Kevin's first.
Yeah, and Saul should probably be paying off at least one bet with ace high. Spindler's not supposed to have flopped trips.
Benny's going to bet 90,000.
I think also with just one straight card and no diamonds, you can
Kevin's going
just
to raise
fold.
to 300,000. 210,000 chip raise.
And this also an option, right?
Yeah.
Spindler's going to have to fold all the hands that missed here that might have good equity or even beating ace-4, right? Your ace-5s, your ace-6. But that ain't going to happen, is it?
Benny's going to make the call.
Spindler calls with 98% equity.
I think you have to be
Let's see
just
the turn card.
absolutely done with this hand when Spindler calls and aboard that try.
Benny Spindler improves to quads and now has a complete lock on this.
Hey, James.
He'll check as well. These guys are going to go
More
heads up
like
into the
better
river.
fold Saul. Am I right?
10 of diamonds.
I shouldn't find that as funny as I do. You've tickled me.
It's the one good thing is that that show didn't exist back then. So
Yeah.
this show is fresh. Oh, my goodness. Just, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at the drooling from Benny Spindler.
Kevin
Imagine if
got
Kevin Saul had
450,000.
bigger hands, Benny Spindler would
Benny
win
says,
more
"I'm
chips
all in."
here.
Raise.
450,000 snap all in from Spindler. Saul
Pass,
releases.
and Benny's going to take the pot.
Better not call Saul.
Short hand, and you pick up a hand
305,000.
like aces, you just think to yourself, wow, you're so much more likely to get re-raised or played with, because players, tend to think that, well, he might be stealing. Hand
King Jack suited for Benny Spindler.
like King Jack here for Benny Spindler, he's certainly going to at least make a call. He possibly might even re-raise. We've seen him do that before. He's got some chips to play with now.
He is a fearless young man, that is for sure. We saw him picking on Kevin Saul in
Benny's
earlier
gonna make the
action.
Call, 305,000.
Well, he definitely wants to see a flop with this kind of a hand. He's just electing to call in position.
Rio passes
Azari
small,
not going
Tony
to play the
passes
queen
the
3,
big.
so we're going to have heads up
For
pot with
305,000
Anthony Gregg
each.
also folding.
Alex and Benny are going to go heads up to this.
850,000 out there.
Once again, Gomez with aces.
Oh
Jack,
my
Jack,
goodness. Quads on the flop. Don't ever run bad.
Strange. The last time Gomez had aces was against Kevin Saul, and 3 6s came on board. He won a big pot. This time, 3 of a kind is going to come on board, and he's destined to lose a lot of chips right here.
In 9-handed action, Gomez trapped Kevin Saul with 6s full of aces for a huge pot. Now he's got jacks full of aces, but this time it's not the best hand.
Well, no, he's really just completely dead here. And now the question is, how is Spindler going to play it?
1.3.
He
Well,
is raising,
interesting.
wasting no time.
This is an interesting play here from Spindler. He's got
Here's the
4 of a
raise
kind,
from
and,
Benny.
popular wisdom would say you should just call and slow play it. But what he's hoping for here is that his raise looks like a bluff, and that Gomez does have a hand like aces, kings, or something along those lines, and is going to, play for it all. There's no way Gomez thinks if you had a jack, you'd raise here.
Like 10?
820,000 raise.
Asking for a chip count. You'll find actually that Benny Spindler has more chips than he does. So Gomez, his tournament life on the line here, and I got to tell you, Ali, I don't like his chances of surviving this one. This looks like the writing is on the wall. Well, he's just going to call. Now, the
Alex
funny thing
calls.
about this is Gomez actually thinks he's trapping him.
Right, he thinks he's slow playing his hand.
He's trying to trap him as he thought and as he did against Kevin Saul earlier in this tournament. Now Benny Spindler asking for a chip count.
1,350,000 apiece.
6.
Let's see the turn card.
Now,
Like
Benny
it, man.
can't really care how
Turn
much
cards of
Gomez
5
has
of
here.
spades.
It's just trying to
Jack,
show
Jack,
weakness,
5
if you
with 2
will. It's a little
spades
bit of
on
a
board. Alex
sort of
is
Hollywood
first.
move. Gomez is
He checks.
checking.
And that's poker on a higher level, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Now Gomez is really checking in the hopes that Spindler, is going to bluff at it. As we know, he's not bluffing. He's got 4 of a kind. And Spindler is really taking an aggressive approach to this
Benny
hand
bets
to try to
out
get as
2
many
million.
chips in as possible. A big bet once again of $2 million.
Pot up to $5.5 million now.
Well, this is the opportunity now for either Gomez to be an absolute genius and make the most remarkable laydown we may have ever seen,
Don't bet on that.
Or he might just decide, all right, now's the time. Let's get all those chips in the middle. Just an amazing. Oh, and he does. He's moving it all in. Of course, Spindler. He's calling. He's got 4 of a kind. Gomez says, completely dead. River card is totally irrelevant. Spindler wins a monster pot, eliminating Gomez. He's up over 16 million in chips now. Stunned. Look at the crowd. They can't believe it. Pocket aces going down in flames. The river now just a formality. Spindler now is going to have a stranglehold on this tournament.
You get the feeling it's going to take Alex Gomez quite a while to shake this one off, despite taking home $750,000.